Okay, cool. Tried doing a Q&A on my smaller online personal training platform and it didn't work. Mate, not now. So I thought, you know what? Let's do a Q&A. Let's have some fun. Let's try not to get cancelled. Let's do it on the main page. So any questions you have, fat loss, nutrition, training, you know what? I'll open it up. Any questions you have, I'm here for you. Yeah, it was a bit annoying that they didn't work before. But what can you do? Salavi, welcome. Hello. For more information on coaching with me, head to gosh, in that bad boy. Okay, elliptical for cardio / fat loss. Look, it's a low impact bit of machinery. So at the end of the day, look, if you were someone that doesn't want to beat yourself up too much, swimming and the elliptical are good ones because running, there's quite a bit of impact, you know, and amongst other things. So especially if you just want to do steady state, don't beat yourself up too much and expend more calories. I get on board with the elliptical. I actually used to use the elliptical with my clients to warm them up because I could chat to them. I could ask them about their day. They're just there doing this. I'm like, oh, how was your son's, school play the other day? Oh, how's your husband? Is he still being a prick? Like, the elliptical was a great way to give them something basic that they could do without, having something too complex. So yeah. Have you seen a guy on YouTube called Ryan Humiston? I actually love Ryan Humiston. I'm one of his fanboys. I messaged him a few weeks ago and I actually took a bit of inspiration from him and his style because his content really engaged me, and even just changing up the angles with the camera, I definitely took some inspiration from him. I love him. I DM'd him and he aired me, but that's all right. That's okay. That's fine. What nootropics would you recommend specifically? Okay, so theanine I've taken before sleep during the day, helps you with like jitters when you're quite stimulated. There's things like Panax ginseng, alpha GPC. There's quite a few. It depends really what you're looking to get from them. I will be doing videos on them. Have you ever trained Muay Thai? Oh yeah. Conditioning the shins, mate. I don't have the hips for Muay Thai, if I'm honest. Do you fast? And you know what? I don't like the word fast. It's just not eating, innit? It's just not eating. People are like, oh, I'm fasting. You're like, mate, you skip breakfast, you madman. Like, relax. That program alone on Netflix, them people are spending all that time in the wild. If they haven't caught food for a few days, they go, I'm hungry because I haven't eaten. They're not like, oh, I'm actually fasting. I'm fasting. I think, not eating for some people is great, especially if you're obese, because that's something you haven't done for a very long time. But the idea of I'm fasting, you're trying to say to people, I'm better than you because I haven't eaten, and I won't stand for it. Hello from Sweden, Jagtala Intersvenska. Do you think 3 scoops of protein is too much and can cause issues to the kidney? I'm pretty sure we've seen studies on protein consumption up to like 4 grams per kilogram, and the kidneys were fine. I think this is like a reverse diagnosis thing where some people are like, oh, if you have kidney failure and they put you on like dialysis, they limit your protein intake. So everyone's like, becomes a scientist, goes, oh, protein bad then. Karthik, Yo James, I think you might have a deep-rooted issue with Prime Energy drinks and its founders. Listen, mate, go fuck yourself here, right? Let me tell you this. It's my job to take my expertise and pop culture and to try and merge them together. All right. That's what I do fucking when I make content. Now, Prime Hydration was dog shit. So I did a video and I said, this is a shit hydration drink. That doesn't make me obsessed with people. That then got millions of views. I quite literally earned thousands of pounds in ad revenue. And you think I'm never going to fucking talk about Prime again, you flipping oxygen deprived bellend. So then the Prime Energy drink, everyone's like, oh, it's dangerous, it's killing kids. And I actually then did another honest, non-biased review about that, saying it's not actually that bad. Because the Prime Energy, if any, that's the better of the two, because it's got a good amount of caffeine in it, can actually benefit you. That could actually positively impact your life if you were to have it before a workout, as the other one wouldn't. So I think you've got a deep-rooted issue in being a flipping idiot. All right? Deep-rooted issue with the founders. I don't know anything about KSI, really. Do you know what? Do you know what my problem is with KSI? I tell you. He wears headphones when he's recording content. I don't get it. What's he listening to? What are you listening to, bruv? You've been making videos for years. What, you need feedback on whether or not your voice is coming through? It doesn't make sense. Then to wear headphones in the thumbnail, that is the one thing I don't get. Logan Paul, admiration for him. He's done incredibly well. However, you can tell the weight of, certain opportunities, such as Crypto Zoo. You know, a lot of people saw bullshit when the crypto NFT hype was going there. Do you remember me doing an NFT thing? No, because I'm not a charlatan, but it's just, mate, you got the biggest selling whatever hydration drink in the world. You think I'm not going to talk about it? It'd be a disservice to anyone that subscribes to me. So if you don't like it, fuck yourself at the end of the day. Jesus. Brody, not overweight, a little high on the BMI. Could Ozempic be an option for me? Yeah, it's like using a fucking shotgun when all you need is a pinprick. No, it's not an option for you. You know, I'm not overweight is the first thing you've said in that sentence. Ozempic is for people who are on death's door from obesity. So no, it's not. Do you know what? If you're a little high on the BMI, you might be a bit heavy. I'm a bit high on the BMI. Although the BMI is actually a pretty accurate predictor over time, it's one of those things where, you know, that's pretty silly. No. I have a question regarding nootropics. What would you suggest for concentration focus other than caffeine? Let me do a video on it. Bodybuilding is a method of weight loss versus the usual. Okay, I'll be honest with you. So when someone wants to improve their performance, improve their composition, lose fat, whatever, that workout we give them is actually very similar. So we're going to get you to squat, deadlift, bicep curl, push, pull. Now, the bodybuilder, we're like, you need to hit your protein, you need to eat enough, or you're not going to grow. The fat loss person, you need to hit your protein, you need to be in deficit, or you're not going to lose fat. That variable in the middle is actually pretty constant. And even, let's say you got like a housewife that comes to you and goes, oh, I just want to feel more toned. You actually give her a bodybuilder program, because at the end of the day, bodybuilding isn't about wanting to be my two favorite feelings in life, I get in the pump and talking to women. I like, yeah, man, get the what of a day. That's not what bodybuilding is. Bodybuilding is about adding more muscle to your frame. So yeah, I'm going to have to go through these a bit quicker because there's so many. I can't believe how many people are watching this. That's bloody bonkers. Set point weight, what's your thoughts? Bollocks. I think it's bollocks. Everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, genetically we're predisposed to, you know, going back to this set point. Mate, you think for hundreds of thousands of years they were like obese hunter-gatherers? No, you just, a lot of people are just fat and lazy, right? And they go, oh, it's my set point. No, it's you. If I was to put you in a concentration camp or chuck you in the flipping gulag, you think that in a North Korean gulag, you'd just be walking around at 110 kg going, oh yeah, it's my set point. No, it's your environment. This is more epigenetic than genetics, you know? Okay. All right. Any resistance bands good for someone with arthritis? Weights ruin my joints. I'd probably run for a physio, I'm afraid. All right. Is BMI accurate? Do you know what? For the most people, it is. For the majority of people, it is. But for then there's going to be out offline. Everyone's like, oh, but the England rugby team, you know, doesn't work with BMI. But not everyone's the flipping England rugby team. All right. Are you still doing any CrossFit? No. Hi, James. Give a big shout out to the coaches in the app. They've been so supportive, helped me get back on track. Yes, legend. Or anyone in the James Smith Academy. What's that? Your online personal training platform. How do I find out more? Is there a comment pinned to this video? Yeah, there is. Okay. How do you go about protecting your back and neck when training jiu-jitsu? Oh, God, I could talk about this for hours. Just be strong. That's what I'd say. Do you know what? When a lot of people get injured, there are some people that, you know, it's shit luck. But for the majority of people that get injured, they're weak. That's it. Pull your back, picking something up off the floor. It could be a freak accident. You could be weak. So your best way to protect yourself from injury is just being strong through a range of motions, being fit and active, and, you know, all of these things. What's your opinion on weight cutting? Have you ever done it in jiu-jitsu? Yeah, never again. Do you know what? One competition after lockdown, I got Shreddy Kruger. I walk around like 94 and 95 kg. I got down to like 88. I looked amazing. I was lean, feeling sexy, got the mustache back. Went to competition, lost all my matches, gassed out in the first one so hard that I'll never lose weight again. I'd rather roll with the big boys in the bigger weight, in the bigger weight category, and then I would cut weight again. I'm 400 pounds and 50 years old. Where do I start? 499 pounds. Everyone's like, oh, you need to lose 200 pounds. No. You need to lose 1 pound, and you need to lose that pound over and over and over and over again. Once you lose 1 pound, you can do that in a week. Slap yourself on the back. Cool. Now, what can I do to lose the next pound? Your battle is a battle of pounds, one at a time. And if you just concentrate on doing one more, you'll be good. Ron Burgundy, is fasted cardio a good form of cardio for fat loss if the diet is dialed in? Okay, fasted cardio is no superior to fed cardio when it comes to fat loss. Fat loss is governed by energy balance, the amount of calories coming in for the day versus out. doing fasted cardio, it's like paying money into the bank before breakfast or after breakfast. If it's the same amount of money going in and you spend the same amount that day, the net balance of that bank account will remain the same. Personal preference. If you're training at 6 a.m. in the morning, probably don't eat. Why? Because it's fucking 6 in the morning. But then on the other hand, if you're training at 11 a.m. and you're kind of getting stomach rumbles, maybe do have something to eat. Why did you leave the UK? Short story. Never wanted to go to Australia in my life, traveled the world a lot, went to a festival, took a psychedelic in a big dose at Martin Garrix one night, and I had a big introspective conversation with myself and decided to move to Australia. It's crazy. It was the best decision of my life. But that is not me endorsing or telling people to do anything. Hey, James Smith, I keep hearing the term overtraining over and over again. What's your definition for it? There is only a finite amount of training you can recover from in a week. There is a finite amount of training you can recover from in a week. If you overstep that boundary, you'll start seeing diminishing returns. 31-year-old male, physical job lifestyle, is it starting to look at testing T levels? Hopefully not at 31. You can go get your bloods done by any means. Don't just use one blood work test as well. Get them done a few times. Try and get it in the morning, fasted. Maybe just hydrate yourself. But check out your testosterone, yeah. But again, because people test testosterone because they want to go on testosterone, I think that you should test testosterone, then try lifestyle interventions, vitamin D, fish oils, sleep, all of these things. Maybe then try Tonka Ali if you think that's got benefits for it or whatever. Okay, are deadlifts a no-go if you have lower back issues, bulging discs? Well, if you eradicate deadlifts or picking up from the floor, surely then your lower back issues are only going to be more susceptible to injury at time. It should be a case of strengthening that area, and maybe you're not doing 200 kilogram deadlifts every week as part of your regime. But yeah, I wouldn't avoid exercises. If anything, I'll prioritize getting back into them. Is your view on semaglutide still bad? No. So semaglutide, Ozempic, is a peptide that is used to slow gastric emptying. And in essence, it fills you up, makes you feel full all the time. I took it for 3 weeks. I could not believe the efficacy of it. As soon as I stopped taking it, I started regaining weight. But I want people to see it. Before, I would have been like, don't take injectable fat loss, peptides, because I think they're bad. But now I actually see a big market of people that could really benefit from them. Okay. Okay, James, started your program. Do you use any supplements for inflammation? I'm struggling. I just don't know enough about inflammation to be able to say that, I'm afraid. What's your favorite TED Talk you recommend watching? Do you know the problem with TED Talks? They're just a bit fucking boring, if I'm honest. And then some of them, you come out a few years later and realize they're bollocks. Like there was that one about posture and going into the toilet and putting your arms in the hair and like, don't fake it till you make it. Fake it till you become it. I did a deep dive on that, one of my last books. And it turns out that the testing they were doing for it was bollocks and got like 20 million views. Scott Hutchings, what advice would you give for starting social media? I posted around 20 videos, but I can't sense I'm very dry. Is a mic essential? Mate, I've done about 17,000 videos on Facebook. So you don't, mate, 20. Imagine if you're doing Olympic lifting, right? And you're like, hi, James, I would like to be recognized for my Olympic lifting. And I go, oh, how many training sessions you done? You go, oh, I've done 20 sessions. I go, mate, you probably should still be using a broom handle at that point. Is a mic essential? Look, the production you're creating, no mic is going to fix shit content. No camera is going to fix shit content. But ultimately, mate, probably this is what I'd say. You're going to be shit for a year. So get on with it. You might not even be able to present or articulate something that actually resonates with your audience for a year, but that shouldn't be a reason to stop. No one watched my early content. I remember posting 3 times a day in 2014 and losing followers. But the only way you can get better in anything is through repetition. So like, who cares about your mic? Come back when you've done 200 videos. And you know what I'll tell you then? Fucking get to 2,000. If you're making videos at 2,000 and you're still not getting traction, it just won't happen. Very rarely would you put that much effort into something and not absolutely dominate that field. You know what I mean? Look at Joe Rogan's early days, absolute dog shit. Look at Mark Brownlee on YouTube, his early stuff. Unreal. What's the crack with skin infections and BJJ? Should it put you off training? No. It's like saying, oh, are you worried about becoming wealthy because your kids turn out to be fucking assholes? No. Don't work hard and, earn good money because your kids will be assholes. You get a bit of staph, you get a bit of ringworm. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, mate. If you ever see me training in a long sleeve rashi, I've got ringworm. All right, where's the hat? I got clickbait. The hat is here. You can't buy me hats because they don't fit my head because my head's too big. All right. Hey, mate, just joined yesterday. The team have been amazing so far. Legend. Welcome to the James Academy. Good job on a good business model and motivating us to be better. I'm in for the long haul. Yes. Sick guy. All right, cool. I'm going to have to go through these quite quick. I'm curious if you think the UK is becoming a right shithole as well. Look, I'm not going to shit on people's, situations because they might not have the opportunity to leave. For me, right, I grew up in the UK. Anything that you could say about me, if you're like, oh, you're a well-rounded young man, thank you. That's to do with my parents who grew up in the UK, and it's to do with me growing up in the UK. The UK is fantastic in some respects to the way it structures. It creates good young people because it is a difficult place to live. And what Australia, no offense, Australians watching, what these people don't understand is they live on the beach for good weather. You got nothing to work towards. Like in the UK, if we're lucky, we work all year round to get 1 week in Tenerife, sitting on a sun lounger, fighting other people to get on there and put the towels down at 7 a.m. You don't know what hardships are until you're trying to get a sun lounger in Tenerife at a budget hotel that your mum and dad got in a timeshare because they were gullible enough to sit through a presentation on their last trip. So that's the UK life. You struggle, you get on the tube, you get sweat on by people on public transport. You come to Australia, you get a 2-hour train ride for £4. So the UK is, I worry if I have kids out here, they're going to grow up to be spoiled little bastards, right? So the London, the UK, they were good. The countryside's lovely, but it's expensive. When I came to Australia, I used to think Australia was criminally expensive, but at least where I pay 50% tax here, I get safe areas, not much crime. No one's getting stabbed in the capital city or Sydney or anything like that. So Australia is fantastic. I love it because my lifestyle here is fantastic. And this is something I'll say before taking up too much time. I was poor when I got here, and people go, oh, what do you mean? I was living in a hostel. I had like 8 or 9 online clients. I had to check out of the hostel every 2 days, sit in reception for 4 hours and check back in because I didn't have enough money in my bank account to book more than 2 days at a time. And my life here was amazing because although I was living in a hostel sharing a room with 14 people, I was swimming on Bondi Beach during the day. I was taking cheap public transport and I was getting 2-for-1 sushi and Woolies because back then you could scan 1 bit of sushi and walk out with 2. So you can live an amazing life here and still be broke. Whereas in somewhere like London, I don't think you can because you have to live so far away from the city centre or wherever your workplace is that you end up being crammed onto public transport and grey skies and cold winters. And yeah, I love Australia for that. But that's not me saying that Australia is better than wherever else it is. But imagine if you're someone who's aspiring to, reach the height. We're all plants. Let's say this. You can't expect maximal growth from a plant putting it in the shade. And Australia, to me, just has been amazing. I think I look healthier now at 34 than I did at 27 when I came here. Wait, hope that helped. What's the best way to lose the chicken wing sides? I don't even know what that is, if I'm honest. I don't know what that is. Are peptides the new multivitamin? Look, peptides, there's not enough research on them to really definitively say anything. View online's made, I've only taken it a week. Favorite chest exercise? Don't ask me, mate. They call me the pigeon because I've just not really got much of a chest. Can you dance with me, please? No. Logan Paul's wife. Jesus Christ, Dylan Dennis has revived himself from the dead, isn't he? Dylan Dennis. Jesus, mate. Jesus. What's up with Australian coffee? Best in the world. Best in the world. I'm really behind on this. Thoughts on Maidenhead Rugby? Back in the day, that was my stomping ground. Loved it. Thank you for that Prime video. No worries. Oh my God, there are so many bloody questions. All right, I feel really rude, and I'm really sorry that I've missed some of these. But yeah, thoughts on Sam Sulek? I wish he could breathe properly. Thoughts on Jaffa cakes? Incredible. Some people disputed whether or not the Jaffa cake was a cake or a biscuit, but they've come to the conclusion that it is definitely a cake because if you leave a cake out of the wrapper, it goes hard, whereas a biscuit goes soft. So there you go. If any of you ever got into the debate and someone goes, it's technically a biscuit, you go, well, shut up, mate, because that failed the test of that. Jay, loving your ADHD. Thank you very much. Twat and a hat. Like that. Tonka Ali, yes or no? Some people swear by it, but for me, it gives me a bit of a stomachache. So yeah, it's just one of those things that I'd probably just rather live without. Can you do a video to burn than eat 7,000 calories? I probably will consider it, but Jesus Christ, that was rubbish. Thoughts on neck training? Do you know what? I've been looking at the old iron neck and training my neck because, it's good to get our guillotines. However, I've seen, tell me if I'm wrong, there's a really strong correlation, not causation, with having a big neck and getting sleep apnea. And sleep apnea, like falling asleep at night and not breathing, is a big problem. So I do get worried about training my neck loads and getting sleep apnea. Where in England are you from? I'm from Windsor. So where the Queen lives. And everyone's like, oh, he's a posh boy. It's right next to Slough. And actually, Slough's getting quite nice, dare I say it. But still, yeah, from that part of the world. Used to work in Bracknell. That's where I was a personal trainer for years. Did 5,000 hours of PT there. James, while being a PT, when did you work out? In between sessions, first, last thing? I used to, if clients cancelled, I just train. Okay, I'm a little confused about various opinions, but I don't know why I'm posh, about how much protein a male needs to grow, hold on to his muscles. Can you please shed some light? Yes, let's take your lean body weight. So I'm 90, 94, let's say lean body weight 89. Times that by 1.6 to 2.2, whether or not you want to go high end or low end. And there's a good amount of protein to it. Some people say it's overkill, but imagine this. When it comes to muscle growth, and we know how difficult muscle growth is and to maintain and everything like that, why would you not aim for overkill? It just doesn't make sense. All right. Rethinking my heel shakes after your vid, although I use it as an additional meals because I'm a skinny lad, so maybe I won't overthink too much. Okay, right. And I'm not here to say don't drink Huel, but imagine this, mate, okay? Some of you get it in a meal deal. It's like £1.50, right? £1.50, you think, oh, it's a meal. It's got everything I need. It's got all these vitamins. It's got these essentials. It's got everything I need. It's a complete nutritious meal. £1.50, right? So on that, they've got to pay corporation tax. That's 25%. So the business now from that has got to do bottling, packaging, distribution, marketing. Any mention on a podcast has to be paid for. Then they have to get all the different ingredients, bring it together, then present it to you and still make enough markup to keep the shareholders happy. What the hell, bro? When you can get 2 bananas for the same price, what do you genuinely think is going to contain more nutrients? You cannot trust other people to have your best interests in heart. Is that not apparent to people? Do we not learn anything in the pandemic? If you think a profitable company are actually going to get all those ingredients and not put shite in it, you're gullible. You're genuinely gullible. And they're going to get all those components from the cheapest bidder necessary. They're going to get a fucking multivitamin, put it in the top and go, oh, this is healthier than a meal. It's bullshit. No one cares about anything in your life as much as you. And the second you expect anyone or any corporation or any business that's there to turn a profit to give a shit, you are naive. You need to go away and source the things you need to for your diet, not just have belief that some bottled shake has got everything you need in. Because ultimately, mate, at the end of the day, if I put in Tesco value chocolate milk, you wouldn't know a fucking difference. All right? Whether or not, oh, but, you know, I save money. Take a fucking hint, mate. Why do you think that good quality, what, you think good quality food is expensive, but you'll get it for free from farmers or whatever? Come on, man. Oh, but it's vegan. Stop it. You're genuinely pissing me off, right? There's not... I would rather imagine this, right? If I can't bother to have a meal, I have a bowl of cereal because at least I know what I'm getting. You know what I mean? At least I know what I'm getting. Oh, but James, there's no multivitamin. Do I give a shit? Oh, good heavens. You know what I mean? Sorry. I think I'd rather be a chocolate milk. Okay. In your opinion, what's your best gym in London? I don't know. Most of my time in London just would go to just the local lim or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Are the CrossFit Games champions really the fittest on earth? You're subjective, innit? Subjective. Morning gym or evening gym? Well, Mark Twain famously said, if it's your job to eat a frog every day, then eat that frog first thing in the morning. And what Mark Twain meant by this was that whatever task is on your mind, do it first thing so you can get rid of it. So I think the training first thing is a good idea. They say, if your job was to eat 2 frogs, to eat the biggest one first. What you take from that is pretty good. A few people asking about the Mike Mentzer thing. Okay, so I thought this was bullshit. A few years ago, I tried high-intensity training. Now, high-intensity training is where you do one set, really difficult. And I was like, this is bullshit. Can't wait to call bullshit on this. So I went into the squat rack and I was like, I think I had like 50 kilograms. And I was like, I'm going to squat this till I fail. Like, I'm only giving myself 1 set to do this, right? So I did it. And I got to like 20 reps and I went to re-rack and I was like, you little bitch, you're not even halfway there. You're just bored. So I just kept repping. And I was like, James, this is your only set to squat. I re-racked. I can't remember how many I did, but I genuinely nearly failed at the bottom. I came up shaking like a shitting dog and I was like, whoa. This is for you all to try next time you go to the gym. Give yourself 1 set per body part. And if you're not sore the next day, that's because you're a fucking pussy, right? Now, once you've done one set and you've gone as hard as you can and you realize how much damage you can do in one set, you then realize how shit and how much of a pussy you've been across 4 sets. So where people go, GVT 10 sets of 10, I'm like, you motherfuckers are just trying to spread your intensity so you can, like, you know, get lazy volume and do better. Doing one set by body part actually means that now when I do 3 or 4 sets, I do it much better. So yeah. What are your thoughts on ashwagandha? Don't know that much about it. It's in a few compounds, but I just don't know. Some people are like, stop taking it. It's just one of those things where I think setting a bedtime for an hour earlier could probably do a lot more for people than that. Okay, I'm going to try and read the ones that come through. How much weight can you gain in 6 months? We don't feel bad. I don't know, but it's not a lot. It's not a lot. And every year that you train, you minimize the amount of muscle you can gain. I believe it halves every year. Okay, let's have a look. Do you know much about SARMs? I don't. Thoughts on Joe Wicks in 2023? I don't know who that is. Thoughts on T3 pills? I'm not sure. There's like T5s, like ephedrine, T3s, whether or not it's thyroxine or just a brand, I don't know. Thoughts on full body split training over other plans? Okay, imagine this. If you're relatively new to training, you don't need a whole day training shoulders. You know, whether you're a young dude, an older woman, whatever it is, an hour is just overkill to train shoulders. You've got medial delt, posterior delt, anterior delt, whatever. They get trained pretty much quite a lot in push-pull, which doesn't make sense. For the majority of you, let's say I'm like, right, it takes 15 minutes for us to really train a body part, doing 4 really hard sets. I probably want you to do 4 sets in different areas. Like I might get you to do 4 sets push, 4 sets squats, 4 sets biceps, 4 sets hamstrings. So it's not full body, it's just multiple body parts at the same time. Ideal rep ranges and sets for muscle growth. Again, this is something that's kind of subjective. And what if I was to just give you a training plan that had a nice amount of volume and you were getting those reps? And again, the reps thing, right? If I got you to do 7 reps or 15 reps, the amount of muscle growth isn't going to change that much. You probably get stronger quicker at the lower rep range. But again, if these are questions you're asking, you should probably follow a program. Did you get the COVID jabs? Regrettably, but although I do kind of regret a bit getting I actually do regret getting the COVID jabs because I'm fit and healthy, right? And I got COVID very jabbed up and it wasn't that bad. And then I got, COVID when more than a year after having the vaccine, and it was like 10% worse. And I was like, fucking hell. But I will admit that I had a very wrong take with the vaccines because I judged the vaccines on the previous evidence that was out there for vaccines. So I immediately was like, oh, do you know what? All of these ones so far have been beneficial. This one surely is going to be good. And then I thought everyone was an anti-vaxxer for being like, this one's different. It's whatever. But I still had to get the vaccine, even though my, my opinion changed for travel, because I was living in the UK and Australia, and to be able to go home and see my family and then to come back to Australia, I had to do it. So yeah, it's pretty messed up that even if I didn't want to do it, I had to do it still to travel so that I could go home or see my family. Now I look back and I go, you bastards. I'm dangerous. I can handle, chuck another disease at me, I'll fight it off. All right. How much protein grams per body weight do you recommend? I have a calculator for this, but yeah, let me give you, there you go. There's a calculator. I'll just put it in the comments. That should work. Click on that. Okay. Is it harder to train in Australia because of the heat? Mate, it's only hot here for like 3 months. Imagine this. If you're from the UK, summer, 3 months, flipping hot. Then either side of summer, you got 2 springs where it's beautiful. And then you got 3 months of winter where it's pretty cold and you got to wear a hoodie. So yeah, it's not always that cold. All right, I'm going to do 2 more minutes. What fragrance or aftershave do you wear? I would never tell you that because people say I smell amazing. I'll never share that secret. Otherwise, everyone will just want to smell like me. Thoughts on carnivore? Do you know what? I did a video on carnivore. I did like 21 days. I was supposed to do a month. It's not bad. I quite liked it. I wanted to hate it, but I really enjoyed it. Okay, right. What I'm going to close with here, and I do apologize. A few people asking about coming to Australia. Let me just tell you a quick story before I go. Okay. When I came here, you go to coffee shops and it's not like Costa Nero, Starbucks. Every coffee shop is like privatized here. It's like a different business. It's like the owner's there or whatever. And when I went there, I used to open my laptop and do a bit of work. And I couldn't believe that the people that work in coffee shops here are often young and attractive. And I looked at them and I was like, in Bondi, I was like, why are there smoking hot 24-year-old girls working in a coffee shop? Because in the UK, you just don't see that. You never go into a coffee shop in the UK and see a worldie. And then I observed them for a while in a non-creepy way, and I came to realize that like these motherfuckers are happy because they get to work at 6 a.m. They serve coffee for like, let's say 7 hours. Then at 2 p.m. they go home, they go for a surf, they take their dog for a walk. Then I spot the girls that work in the coffee shop and they're sat on a grassy knoll in Bondi watching the sunsets with their friend, having a couple of ciders to go to bed to wake up for 6 a.m. And I go, wow, even though these people working in the coffee shop aren't working for the most amount of money, their life is amazing. I was like, these people on just over minimum wage have probably got a better life than most people in London. So when you come to Australia, you don't need to be super wealthy or super, ambitious or whatever. Any of you that can come out on a 3-month holiday visa. So if you can afford your flights to Australia on a 3-month holiday visa, come and check it out, whatever. You can then get a 1-year working visa and just get a job. The economy here is good. There are places you can get a job, and like you go to these bubbles like Bondi, you can get like you pay your month weekly, you get paid weekly, whatever. Like if you can bank enough savings to come here and just get a job and just experience it for a year, it will either be the year you went to Oz and you came back to the UK, or it will be the year you went to Oz and you never come back. But ultimately, what the crazy thing here is, you can come here and someone says about spiders. You see a spider like once every 3 months, 4 months, or whatever. And yeah, the bags are expensive, but the quality of life is insanely good. Nightlife is not half as late. So you come home pissed at 1 a.m. rather than 5 a.m. All right. So already your hangovers aren't quite so bad. The cocaine is rubbish. So you don't buy it. You go back to drinking booze a lot. Every day on Sunday, you're hungover. You pull yourselves out of bed and you go for a coastal. You go down to the sea. You go for a swim. You can go barefoot to a restaurant after having an evening dip in the sea, and you can have like an affordable dinner. When I came here, I pulled my head out my ass about like, it's not about being a millionaire. It's not about this. It's not about that. I live next to the beach in like a sleepy town an hour away from Sydney where no one knows what I do for work. And I love it. And my dog is going to want a walk in a second. I might not even put any shoes on. I'm going to take him down to the beach. And like what Australia taught me is it's not about seeing who can die with the most money. And plenty of people in my profession are doing better than me, but they don't have a better life. You know what I mean? They can make 5 times the amount of money I have. They can have bigger followers, but you want to compare dick sizes. Yours might be bigger, right? But when it comes to lifestyle, there's not many people that have it better than me. So anyone out there that's considering coming to Australia, 100% do it. I'm actually going to do a video on it soon. But yeah, so check it out, guys. It's something you want. I might even make a little guide of what to do and what not to do. But guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I don't do these usually on this channel. I do it on the James Academy one, but it's been a pleasure having you all on. And thank you very much. Look forward to speaking to you guys soon. And if you can't be good, be careful. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you, don't come in here, come on her. All right, bye-bye.